All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I'm so excited that you could join. I'm going to take you through the top 3 business mistakes. You are going to learn how to launch your startup without wasting time and money. And I'd like just to make sure that we're all on the same page. Hey, on the same page. Um, my promise to you is that at the end of this session, you're going to learn the top mistakes that a lot of business people, startups make very early on when they're trying to launch or when they launch, and learn how to launch your startup without wasting time and money. And I'm sure that you have tried to launch a startup or you're launching a startup. This place is for you. Then if you have got a business that's already running, but somehow it's not getting customers consistently, this is the right place. If you've got a business that's running, it's doing very well, and you are flying, this might not be the right workshop for you. But for those of you who are early on, idea stage, trying to figure out what to do, this is the place for you. So first of all, I'd like to just ask you this. If you could learn to launch your startup without wasting time and money, what would your life look like? I'd like you to type in the chat. Type in the chat. I'd like to see, what would your life look like? What are your goals? So we've got different goals. Different people got different goals. You got goals of trying to, some of you have got goals to trying to finally have the business that works. Others, it's trying to get to work on freedom, financial freedom. Others, it's because you want to be your own boss. Others, it's just to get respect from your loved ones. Like finally, you are the ideas person you've been talking about. I've got an idea, I've got another idea, and nothing is still working. But now it's like, okay, I think if that happens, then finally my loved ones would respect me. Like, yeah, you were onto something. Okay, whether it's work colleagues, but it's freedom, whether it's just being just living your best life. What is your goal? Just type that in the chat. I'd like to hear your different results. And I know some of you have tried to do this. You've been working on your business, or you are thinking about it, and it hasn't worked out the way you planned. And I'd like to tell you right now that it's not your fault. It's not your fault. That there is a lot of confusing information out there. And if you're thinking that traditional education is meant to make you be your own boss, you're wrong. Traditional education makes you, creates people that work in other businesses. And so that's why a lot of this information is not taught to you in school. And then thinking whether the bank would be happy that you just have your own money and your own business. For the most part, if you're financially independent, they know you don't pay a lot of money. So when you're in debt, you pay the bank a lot of money. And when you are struggling, that's when you borrow badly and you borrow at high interest rates. So it's just to know that it's not really your fault that things are not working out the way you've planned, and you've been trying to make something that works. Okay. And we all have different reasons for doing what we want to do, right? And so I'd like to tell you first, again, is that your dream is valid. Okay, I know a lot of people have been telling you, why don't you just get a job? Why are you going on with this and this thing? Like, you're onto something. Your dream is valid. It's people like you and me that change the world, the people who don't follow the normal course that everybody is following. So confirm, I'd like just to affirm your dream. I'll tell you a little bit about me, about Sandra. So why am I doing this? Why is Pranary doing this? And who am I? Well, this is me. I was born in Zambia, in Central Africa. That's me on the left. And I grew up in a little town in the eastern province of Zambia, in Chadiza, and I lived in the village there. I grew up in Chadiza, then my dad retired. We went to the village where we were walking 6.5 kilometers one way to go to school and 6.5 back to home, looking after cattle. And yeah, that was a wonderful life then. And then went to the city, to Lusaka, when I was in grade 4, and lived in one township. We lived in a township in a one-room house in a place called Soweto. There's Soweto in Lusaka, by the way, South Africans. So I lived in Soweto in a one-room house with my parents and my 2 siblings, my 2 little brothers. And then we upgraded. We went to another township called Chivolia. That's so pretty hectic, but we live there now in a 2-roomed house. And when I'm telling this story abroad, a lot of people think that I'm talking about 2-bedroomed apartment. Talking about a house with just really 2 rooms, right? And I went to school there. I was waking up early with my little brother. We'd go to order bread and milk and sell them door to door. And then in the afternoon, go to the neighbors to draw water. And then we'd get ready for school, go to school, and then come back in the evening and go and watch TV at the neighbor's house up to about 7 p.m. Then we had to go back home, like no electricity, where the toilet is outside, all of that. So that was my growing up in Lusaka. Then I went to a seminary in Chipata. And when I was in grade 11, my dad passed away. And then when I was in grade 12, a week before my final exam, my mom passed away. But I managed to pass and go to university where I did computer science. So it was a pretty rough moment in time for me in my life. But I managed to pass and go to I mean, I did computer science, but to survive, I had the government bursary. The government paid half of my fees, and I needed to come up with the other half. And so what I did was I'd go from Kitwe, which is where my university was, Copperbelt University, and go to Lusaka to Commerce Market, where I would go and buy spirits. So I'd buy vodkas, brandies, whiskeys, and take them back to campus and get the students drunk, and they'll give me their money. And that's the money then I used to pay the rest of my fees, as well as party like the cool kids. So it was at that point, that's when I learned I could major with how entrepreneurship makes a big difference. And then after graduating, I started a web dev company. I worked for a web development company, and then I started the networking company. I had an entertainment business. I worked for a bank. I worked for a mobile payments company, then moved to Cape Town, South Africa, where I worked for a unit trust company. And then I did an MBA at University of Cape Town and quit my job again to run my business full time. So I was working and running full time. That's why. And during this period, from that time in 2012, when I did finish my MBA and quit my job, I've been learning methods that help people to grow business. And that was my big challenge, my big quest was like, I've been running subsistence businesses, small businesses, and I'm wasting a lot of money that I'm using from my salary. Other times I make money and then it's not sustainable. Like, how can I build a sustainable, scalable business? And that's when I went on a quest to learn about entrepreneurship. And now I've had the opportunity of talking to entrepreneurs from interviewing different people, I've interviewed over 100 founders. I've been running Startup Grind for about 5 years. And then I've been now to over 26 countries. The newest country that I went to was actually Kenya. Before then, Ethiopia. So hello to the people in Kenya. I met Lamek in person in Kenya, and it was great to visit Ethiopia. And so that's been my path. And what I'll share with you today is some of the learnings that I've learned from conversation, but also in practice and putting these together and trying as well. I learned from the conversations with all these founders and testing things out, and then started Pranary. So Pranary is a practical business school for entrepreneurs. And why practical? Because you know how you go to business school and you still don't know what to do on Monday. I struggled. I did an MBA, but I couldn't run my startup. I couldn't know. I was taught to do business plans and I didn't know how to write them. And I had to pay people to do that. So you will see like some of the findings. That's what I'm going to share with you now, and then also share some of the trips that I've had. So this is me and my wife in Mozambique. This is me with the family who were in Milan, that's the Duomo, okay, and drinking Belgian beers in Belgium, Brussels, and this is in Paris, okay. This is in Switzerland, one of the most expensive countries in the world. And this was at the Taj Mahal, proposing to my wife again in Taj Mahal. In India, went to Mumbai, went to Agra, went to Delhi. And these are some of the people that some of the great people have mentored me, I've chatted with, I've learned from. That's Dr. John DiMartini. He's a human behavior specialist, multi-millionaire. He lives on a ship called The World that travels around the world. But I learned a lot from him. In the middle is Roger Hamilton. I spent a month in Bali, Indonesia, at his resort, learning entrepreneurship. Some of the things that I'm going to teach you and share it with you, I learned from Roger. And that is with, on the right, top right, it's with billionaire Tim Draper. That was in Ghana. And Tim invested in Hotmail, Tesla, Skype, and all of those big companies. But the information and things I learned from him, again, were just mind-blowing. On the bottom left, that's Patrick Pichette. He's the chairperson, the chairman of Twitter. And he was the CFO of Google. Again, listening to Patrick was like amazing. And then I did the fire walk with Tony Robbins. I walked on fire in Silicon Valley. Great. So I've now been able to chat to audiences of thousands of people. Largest was speaking Silicon Valley to 10,000 people. But this here is in Cape Town. Great. All right. So now let's go into the top mistakes. Mistake number one is moving too slowly. Okay, so a lot of startup businesses move too slowly because they're still using the old method that we're taught in school. You're taught in business school, taught a long time ago that this is how you build a company. And in computer science, we learned programming the method or the waterfall method. So which is like you spend time doing your research, and then you write out your specs and your different types of specs. And then from the specs, you go and now you develop, you do wireframes, and you do, you develop, and then after you develop that, then you go and test. Then when you test, then you launch. Then finally, users get to learn about your program, right? So a lot of people are still using that method. It's a mistake. Okay, it is a mistake. We're moving too slowly. And then still when they're starting businesses, a lot of people still follow that method of go and do market research, or you pay somebody to do market research. And then from market research, you move on now to writing a business plan. And you pay somebody to write a business plan for you. And then you keep moving slowly. And then you do user groups, a lot of things that actually do not work. And when finally you launch, it's too slow. And then with that, in corporate, it works, okay? Moving slowly in corporate works because in corporate, you are supposed to, corporates, like, they usually get super smart people and super educated people, but still you tell them how to think, right? And then when you do that in corporate, where we're saying we're going to do all of these design things and not talk to anybody, and when you create that, so for instance, to give an example, a lot of countries have got savings group, informal savings groups. In South Africa, it's called Stokvel. In Zambia, it's called Chilimba. Then in East Africa, it's called, I've forgotten the name, in Rwanda and Kenya. But there's a lot of money that goes into those type of businesses or in that type of savings. In South Africa, it's a 70 billion rand industry. And every bank wants to have a piece of this pie. So what do? They develop programs, products in-house to target the Stokvel. And so what happens is they hire brilliant people like all of you here, and you sit in glass buildings and design these products for people you haven't spoken to. And then you go and finally you launch and realize like nobody is using them. Okay. But why is that? It's like because we're told like you got an MBA, you are very smart, you should know all the answers. And so you don't talk to anybody. And in a corporate, that works because when you develop it, you take it to marketing. Marketing has got an advertising department and all these different departments. Then they go and then it sells, they market and they sell. And if it doesn't work, you throw more advertising money on it. And then if it doesn't work, you throw even more money at it. Then after 2 years, finally you can the project saying, you know what, it's not working. But at that point, everybody keeps their job. You can shift the blame around. You can blame marketing, you can blame operations, you can blame IT, you can blame customer service, you can spread the blame, and everybody has got their job. So, but in a startup, that is not the case. You won't have your job, you won't have your startup, you run out of money. Okay. And with this, you will see that the old method is build and they'll come. Okay, so it's like you get given a map book. Here's a map book, figure out where you are. It's a lot of information. They give you lots of books, lots of textbooks, and read this, read that, do this research, read all these papers, and then produce this massive document. And this works for big companies, like I mentioned. And then there you have to do business plans. And business plans have got a place in big corporate. If you're extending it like a new division, you do business plans there. Okay. And then there was also the assumption then that there was no knowledge, and it's true. The time I was going to school, we had to go to the library. When I was in high school, I was actually a librarian. Like I was looking after the books. And so I read a lot whilst being a librarian. But that time to read stuff, we needed to go to the library. There was no knowledge. So you needed all of this knowledge. And then 9 years ago, we had new things happen. Eric Ries came in with the lean and with Toyota model, which came from the Toyota method, Toyota model of lean. And we're talking about lean startups. And then tech, okay? And then a lot of emphasis like, well, everybody should start a tech startup, you should do tech. Everybody's in tech. And a lot of accelerators started, and we started making pitch decks as opposed to business plans. And that was a big shift as well. And then now what we're finding that because there's knowledge everywhere, things have changed. There's knowledge everywhere. So meaning you don't need to find the knowledge anymore. You can just look up anything that you need immediately and get it. Okay. And so people now are impatient. The customers are impatient. You as a founder, you should be impatient, because the other founders are impatient. They know what to do. Like all of you here have got very specific questions. You're not coming here to say, oh, I want to learn what entrepreneurship is. You all know what that is. So we're not going to debate. So according to Schumpeter, this is what, this is this, like talking about the different things. We want straight info. And so now we got platforms. So there is no excuse to move slowly. The people that are doing well just utilize the platform and build on top of platforms. So you see some of the offers that the people on Pranary have got is they utilize the platforms. Like you don't have to build everything from scratch. At the time that I was building websites, I had to make my own web server. Think about it. Like configure my own web server and set up my web server and host my own websites and then host my clients' websites on my computer in my office. Okay, when I'm talking about that, it's like, what, really? For those of you who are younger, we needed to do that. And so you needed a really good internet connection and that. But now we got all these tools and experts available to us. Okay, so don't move too slowly. That's the number one mistake. The average attention span has been in the year 2000 was 12 seconds. And the goldfish attention span is 9 seconds. Okay, in 2013, attention span of a human being was 8 seconds, and in 2020, 7 seconds. So have I lost all of you now? Where is everybody here? Are you still paying attention? Okay, so these are that's the attention that we've got now. Okay, so the number 2 mistake that early stage startups make is writing business plans. Business plans are got a place in corporate, but here it's a mistake because business plans, everybody makes money in Excel. Okay, when you're working in Excel, you're making money. You show people like, oh, okay, I'm gonna sell this product at $10, and then I'll sell 200, and then I'll be growing by 20% every month, and saying like, oh, you know, but it's 0.2 or 1.2. Like, no, let's move it to, why don't you double every month? Like, okay, yeah, multiply that by 2. We change the 0.2 to 1.2 to 2. Then now our curve becomes exponential. It just starts shifting like that. And so everybody makes money in Excel. So you will find that why this is a mistake, and why at Pranary we don't encourage you to write business plans is because of a number of reasons. One, business plans are usually a work of fiction. Like I said, everybody makes money in a business plan in Excel, all these projections. Then number 2, nobody reads them. Okay, you don't read them. Okay, those of you with business plans, when last did you read your business plan? It was like when you were writing it. And then investors don't read them. Then the other reason is that you didn't actually, most of the people actually don't even write their own business plans. They hire people to write business plans. So business plans are a mistake. They will not progress you for, you said, you're spending a lot of time on things that don't matter. Instead, create a pitch deck. You can write a pitch deck, 10 slides, 11 slides, that raises a lot of money and guides you. And that's what you can send to investors. You can also read that as a company. You look at your pitch deck and see what you're focusing on, what your traction is, how big your market is, and your competitors, all of that in just 10 slides, okay? 10 to 15 slides, everything captured in there, okay? And so that is the mistake that people make. Writing a business plan is prerequisite for most funders. So it depends on the funders, actually. Like if you're going to a bank would want a business plan. But again, as a startup, you are not, you shouldn't go and raise money from a bank because you're taking out a loan. And when you take out a loan, you need to start paying off the loan, whether the business works or not. So with the pitch deck, you go and raise money from investors, and they're taking a risk, buying shares from you. Okay, and that's what you do. Once again, here you just write the pitch deck, 10 slides or less, and then you can convince investors, and then also you chat with your team. All right, Adam is asking, would a pitch deck act as a lean business strategy plan? Yes, it would. It would, absolutely. Your thoughts on a short, medium-term strategy plan as a complement to a pitch deck? You can have that. You can have a strategy plan, definitely. So internally, you have your strategy plan and know you know how to, like that guides you. So as a team, you will look at your strategy, and that is what is guiding you all the time. And then with the pitch deck, you also learn how to present it. So the 2 types of pitch decks you can write. One is for sending out to investors. The other one is for presenting. And the one for sending out is done in a particular way, whereas the one that you pitch hasn't got to have a lot of text in it, and you present it. You can present it in 3 minutes or less. And then learning how to pitch is a critical skill, because when you pitch, you are getting the investors to take an interest in you and take an interest in your business, and so that they can ask for more information. Great. Number three mistake is not talking to customers early enough. Okay, this is a big one. And it leads to the number one reason why startups fail. The number one reason why startups fail is no market need. So building stuff that nobody wants. Okay, so producing services and goods that nobody wants. That's the number one reason why startups fail. That is according to research by Bill Gross. And consistently, you find that number one, like nobody needed our stuff. So a lot of people, especially tech founders, like to build things because building things is actually easy. Talking to customers is hard. Okay. How many tech founders are here? Type 1 if you're a tech founder, and type 2 if you're a non-tech founder in the chat box. Yes, actually, Yuri said you need to talk to at least 100 people. Okay, we've got a lot of tech founders. Rochelle, Lamek, PJ. Okay, PJ is non-tech. Joe is non-tech. Paulus is tech. Princey is non-tech. Oliab is non-tech. Fatima non-tech. Prabashini tech. Anati non-tech. Modrin non-tech. Fantastic. So you will find that you have non-tech founders who would sometimes just looking for tech founders to build stuff. But then on the tech side, a lot of tech people come to Pranary, they come to me and they say, Sandras, I've spent 140,000 Rand building this app, me and my friends, which is like $10,000 building this app. And yeah, we've made a lot of progress. We've built lots of features and it can do all these 15 things. And then could you help us sell it? Could you help us market it? And the question is always, have you spoken to any customers? Like, no, we haven't yet. When we finish, we want to. And they're going to take it to customers, and they find that that is usually a mistake. That when you finally take it to customers, you find that some of the things that customers want are very, very few or very little, or they actually say, no, we never really wanted this solution in this way. And then if you watch them use it, they'll just use it once. And when you leave, then they stop. Okay. So talk to customers early on. Okay. Great. So there is a question, Apple found success building something no one really needed in the form of the iPad, though they convinced us we needed an in-betweener and we converted. Cool. So great. So on that one, Adam, those type of products where you're building a product that you have to convince people that they need it, they are quite expensive to do. So it works very well when the company has a lot of money or you have a lot of money, because that education time is money. Trying to get people to convert is money. So you will get some people who convert, others will not. Okay. So, but then you should have a business that lasts long enough that it could get to that point where people are converting. Cool. Your thoughts on involving target audience and potential users to get their feedback in the early stage of development with it simple. So when you are, Adam, when you're launching and you're showing early stage users your MVP, you're actually selling them on your MVP, and then they start critiquing your MVP. They start finding fault or asking about the MVP. But with that, the mistake then is you're missing out on what they really need. So what is the problem you're solving for them? So I found that a lot of people who have built MVPs are going to people say, look at my MVP, and say, oh, what does it do? This is what it does, this is what it does. Oh, okay. And then what else? Oh, and then this, and then this. And then you ask them, like, could you use it? Like, oh, but for me, I'd use it if you did this, you did that. Then you go and add more things, you come back. Oh, okay, does that? Oh, that's really cool. Okay, how about this? How about that? Then you go back and add more things. Who can relate to that? And then still they're not buying, and they're not buying, and you keep building and keep building. And then you got this stuff that finally say, hey, can you buy? Say, no, okay. We'll be back, right? That's nice at first. We'll be back. And then they leave, and then they don't come back, and wondering like, but they kept asking for this, they kept asking for this. But it's because you were selling them on an MVP as opposed to understanding what their problem was. So with that, we find a lot of founders, they've got a solution looking for a problem. So they've got a solution looking for a problem and saying, hey, I've got a hammer here. I'm looking for nails. Like, who's got a nail? Who's got a nail? Because I've got this thing, but now I'm looking for people to build, to solve it for. Okay. So question, how much are ideas worth? Excellent, absolutely. Your ideas are worth 0. So what makes ideas worth something? Type in the chat box. What makes ideas worth something? So I know a lot of people are actually broke because they're hanging on to ideas. Okay, hanging on to ideas. You've been hanging on to an idea for years. Now I've got this idea. I'm afraid people will steal my ideas. I don't want to talk to investors. They'll steal my ideas. I don't want to talk to customers. They might steal my idea. Okay, and you keep talking about ideas. And if you give up your idea and you just try to test things, you would actually start making some money. Okay, so what makes ideas worth something is absolutely right. Execution, implementation, execution. So we all know that Facebook wasn't the first social media platform. There was MySpace, High Five, Mixit, a lot of others. Even my first website had a social media part of it. We had a bulletin board. You remember the chat boards, you know, where we would have people talking to each other and sharing stuff. Okay, and so also with Facebook, with search engines, Google was not the first search engine. Who remembers some of the early ones? There was Lycos, Alta Vista, Search, Yahoo, a lot of others, a lot. And remember, there was a time we used to submit websites to search engines, demos. Like we submit websites to search engines. So there were a lot of others, but still, so the idea in itself doesn't mean much. It's the execution. How much can you execute and take care of customers? Okay, yeah, and Yahoo wanted to buy Google. It was Excite as well, right? Yeah. So, but what usually happens now, let's talk a little bit about stolen ideas and idea stealing. There's one type of idea that can be stolen, by the way. So it's there. If you come to me, I'm a car manufacturer, and you say, hey, Sandras, you make cars. I've got an idea on how you can make your wheels look pretty. You say, oh, cool. What is that? You could just change this and change that. And then I'm a car manufacturer. Then like, why do I need you? I could just do that on my own, right? Like, oh, cool, thanks. So when you go to a concept that can just enhance a big existing company, yes, that idea can be stolen because the big company doesn't need you to do that. So those are the cases that you've been hearing about in the news, like, oh, this person went and said this to this company and then did it. So those types, yes, can be stolen. But startup ideas, like business ideas to set up a business, those ones are not stolen because even now, like if we all shared your ideas here, you'll find that like maybe 5 people got the same idea, 2 people got the same idea, and then somebody who says like, I've got a really unique idea. I bet you I could just do a Google search here and find that somebody has built it somewhere else. So people don't steal ideas. And why people feel that the ideas are being stolen is because they keep talking about the ideas for years and doing nothing. So ideas, people, you need to team up with action people so that the ideas can be implemented. Okay, how many ideas did you have today in the shower? Yeah, the ideas just pop in the shower like, oh, I could do that, I could do that. Oh. And then when we are traveling in our countries in Africa, there are lots of ideas because there are a lot of things that need solving. You just look at that like, wow, I could do that. That's a business. Oh, we need to solve this. This is another business. Like that. So every problem that we see, it's a business idea. Okay. So too many ideas, nothing new under the sun. Okay, and that is true. So it's execution that will make a difference. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share with you the opportunity that we've got here at Pranary. Okay, so at Pranary, we are a practical business school for entrepreneurs. We have figured out a way of making entrepreneurship education practical. Like we cut through stuff very quickly and bring in founders, other founders and investors to give guidance. So at Pranary, we only have founders and investors, the ones that actually instruct us on the courses. So that's what makes us different. In that with Pranary, we have only investors and founders that will be instructing, and then the coaching that you get, whether it's just coaching or whether it's you joining any of our programs, you get experts, practitioners teaching you practical things. So we're not giving you things that you just have to read, like go and do this and do that. Everything that you're doing is working on your business. That's what we're doing. Okay. Okay. So before I go into that, PJ is asking, we're talking about solutions that are built without talking to customers. The issue I'm raising is you look at your competitors, build a product that offers better quality and value at a similar price point. Trust is an issue I'd like to learn to overcome. People would rather buy from a company they have a relationship with rather than try a new one, regardless of constant shortcomings. Cool, fantastic, PJ. That's a good question. So, and we'll talk about that as we talk about the opportunity, but I can answer some of that right now. That when you're launching a new business, you can look at what competitors are doing, but if you are only giving the same and then you just reduce your price, it's very difficult for people to switch. Okay, how many of you have got relatives that use the national telecoms provider, like here in South Africa, like Telkom? Okay, type 1 in the chat box. Zambia, it will be Zamtel, and like type 1, and then that they complain all the time, but they don't move, right? Right? They use stuff that they complain about, but they do not move. So people don't move for a number of reasons. One would be like just switching costs, like the devil you know, and then just complain, and nothing changes. So for them to move, there often needs to be 10 times better. It's hard, like you know that this is costing me money. How many of you switch banks easily? Even if you know the other bank will charge you less. It's like, how do I do it? Okay, I'll do it another time, and you never do. So switching costs are hard. So you can build trust by start working with a few people, but offering 10 times better value. And we handle that in our programs. Like, how do you stand out? So you make Grand Slam offers. So Grand Slam offers are offers that are too hard to refuse. Godfather offers. Okay. Great. All right. So now we talk about the opportunity that we've got. Okay. So we've got a program called the Launchpad program. This program, we haven't launched it this year. Okay, so this is the opportunity. We are starting the Launchpad program early. We're starting it in the next few days or in a week or so. And this is the program that I'd like to talk to you about. And with the Launchpad program, it's a program that handles, you'll be able to launch your startup without wasting time and money. You'll be able to figure out the type of business that you should get into. You'll be able to know how to involve customers early, and then how to sell something before you build it. How to, if you're a non-tech founder, you'll be able to get as a partner with tech founders, and then also you'll be able to figure out how to market your business. So we take you through all the different stages that you need to launch a business. So if you're just launching, and then if you have launched your business already, but you're not getting consistent customers, you'll be able to figure out product market fit. So we'll show you the methods to figure out product market fit. Okay, you'll be able to know what that process is and seeing where the issue is, because there is a method where people actually tell you what they really want to do. And then we show you exactly what metrics to see that show you product market fit. And then you will get rid of the doubt. Okay, getting rid of doubt, getting rid of wasting time. You get rid of just getting people who have bought once and then they don't come back again, or just continuing wasting time and money on building stuff. And especially for people who have launched already, there's also like sunk cost bias. So I've spent a lot of time and money on this. You're like, but is it making money yet? Whose money are you losing? Is it you? A lot of people say, no, it's coming from my salary. But imagine if that money was not sunk into just paying companies or people to build stuff that nobody's paying you back for. You would have more money. You'll be richer. Your kids, your family will have more money. Okay, so you get rid of that doubt, the waste will go away, and then you start building something that really, really makes money. And this process is actually short. Okay, we've figured out a method that helps you to do that quickly and cost effectively. So we'll save you time and save you money. So these two things will be saved because we are using a tried and tested method that we have used ourselves at Pranary. I've used personally in my life. A lot of other people gone through Pranary I've used, and we're so happy to bring this back again. So you might be thinking, would this work for me? And how does this how does this program actually even work? So we use a method called rapid launching. So rapid launching is not the same as the waterfall, obviously, and it's also not the same as lean startup. So it's rapid launching. We help you to launch immediately. And depending on your business, there's certain businesses you could actually launch within a day, right? And then others might take a week, others might take a month, others a few months. But with rapid launching, you'll be able to launch. We flip the script completely. That a lot of people, when they come to Pranary, say, what? You mean I could do this? I'll show you some testimonials of people who have gone through the rapid launching process and done that. So you might be thinking, would it work for me? It will work for you if you actually you want it. Okay. The wonderful thing, it's a trainable thing. And then it'll work for you because we'll hold your hand. If you join the program, we won't let you alone. We'll hold your hand, and then we'll also hold you accountable. Say, hey, where are you? And at certain times, so as adults, when you're learning something new, it's difficult. Like, no, but this is supposed to be this way. It's supposed to be this way. It's supposed to be this way. I remember when I learned this method I had written business plans. I had written out so many business plans, and then I went to talk to a founder. That time, these founders of a company called Zona said, I'm trying to raise money, build a scalable startup that works. Says, so I'm struggling with these business plans and doing this. Said, oh, okay, instead of doing that, why don't you just focus on this? Just do these slides and just 10 slides that will show you that. So, what? And that was a big challenge. But then now I got confused because there were so many different plans, right? Pitch decks, and it's confusing. Like, which one do I use? And then also there was like different methods. There was lean, there was disciplined entrepreneurship. There's a lot of different methods. Like, which one would it work? But over talking to different founders and reading hundreds of books, I've literally read over 200 books on entrepreneurship, wealth building, and personal development. I've interviewed over 100 founders, been to 26 countries and talked to, help thousands of people. And with this, that's where we created this. And I've spent lots of money on different programs trying to figure this out. And I've also lost a lot of money in methods that didn't work. Paid lots of people, lots of money to help me build a business, and it didn't work. So coming to learn about the rapid launching is a really, really good thing, and which I'd like to then, as Pranary, would like to pass on to you. Okay, so the Launchpad program will help you to launch a scalable startup without wasting time and money. And The value of this program is $1,997. Okay, that's the value of it. And it's worth way more because there are people who join this program, and it's like going to school and then instead of just passing, when you pass very well, you get paid, right? Imagine that you go to school and you get an A+ and they give you money. So we've had people like Marie Folio, no, not Marie Folio, sorry, Marie Behrens from the founder of Kipipel from Mauritius. She went through this program. For her, she managed to, within the 3 months that she's been on the program, she pitched to investors and raised $25,000. So imagine the value was that, meaning for her, the value was more than $5,000. Okay. And then we have different people. Some people actually went through this program and realized that what they were building was actually wasting them time. And at that point, it comes to a point where they spent $200,000, $240,000, which is almost $20,000. I mean, 240,000 rand, sorry, which is almost $20,000, almost $15,000. And with this program, it showed them very clearly that, you know what, that we shouldn't continue with this. We should instead change and do this. And it was a big shift, because a lot of times the question that we will answer in this program is my idea good? And we help you with that. So this is what the Launchpad program covers. Okay. We will look at the problem, the idea. We do customer discovery. We do validation. We do website and social media. You set all that up. Market sizing. I struggled. I did an MBA. I struggled with market sizing and marketing and sales. A lot of things have changed in marketing and sales. The marketing and sales books that you find in university don't cover half of the stuff that's been happening now. Do you know the changes in iOS 14 and all these things that are happening now? If you're advertising, those of you advertising, you see the red bar of despair in your Google, in your Facebook ads account. Right? How do you deal with that? Then you learn about traction that matters. When investors are saying traction, what do you do? What does it mean? Which is the traction that matters? Then we talk about fundraising. And you learn about fundraising exactly from founders who've raised and also from investors. Let's tell you, this is what we'd like to see. So you learn to do that. Then you also, with that, you learn how to also raise money for, a lot of people say, can I get somebody to fund my MVP? How do you do that? Can I get money to fund my idea? How do you do that? What do you need? And can you fund an idea? What type of ideas are fundable? And then what do people need to see before they fund an idea? And we talk about legal as well. Like what contracts do you sign with your friends? Okay, do you sign any contracts? When you're starting a new company, what do you need? Do you need to protect your IP? What IP should be protected? And how much should you pay for that? And we talk about also how to divide your shares. If you're 4 co-founders, how should you divide your shares? A lot of people like to divide equally, but it's a mistake, because you will find that if the 4 people are bringing in different things, they shouldn't own the same amount of shares each. So we should teach you all of that and give you templates on how to go about that. And there's a formula on doing that to give you all of that. And then your investment ask, if you are launching or if you've already launched and you've been struggling to raise money, ask for money, how much should you ask for? People coming to me and say, hey, I'm trying to raise $10 million. Okay, what have you done? I haven't done anything yet, but my idea is worth $1 billion. Okay, look, but how much do you ask? How much do you do? Then also we answer questions around, if you have so many ideas, how do you select the idea to go with? Okay. Also, if your idea, the project is massive, you want to build a smart city, what do you start with? Then this process will save you money, will save you lots and lots of money and lots of years of trial and error, because you will just know what to do exactly in this stage. At the end of this program, you will have a business and you will know what you need to do to make a business, to have a business that's scalable, and you won't waste time and money. So now you might be also thinking that, sorry, the wrong slides. You might be thinking that, would this work for me? Who would it work for? But before I talk about that, I'll give you some examples, right? Some testimonials. This is Gasta Kevin from Tanzania. It says, in the 4 years of building my company, attending a number of programs and pivoting 5 times, nobody has given my team and I half the knowledge we have received from Pranary in the last 4 weeks. So this was just month 1 of the program already. It's like, whoa, this is mind-blowing. I've been in so many programs, but nobody just even explained to me like what was wrong with my pitch. And I pivoted. I didn't know what was wrong with my business. And that Meji from Nigeria says, I was part of YC startup school. Okay, Y Combinator startup school this January, and I still feel I'm gaining more at Pranary than at Y Combinator cohort. I think the reason is because we get to talk to mentors and Sandras directly, as well as other entrepreneurs. Then Aram from Nigeria says, I must say the team has given me the direction on what we actually needed to focus on more. The current pandemic set our MVP back, but with the feedback from the program, we have restructured our value proposition and aligned on our target customers, and we're testing that now. And Kelly, founder of IA Africa, says, I want to say thank you for this training program. I'm learning so much about how to implement ideas. I wasn't even aware there was, in fact, a framework one could follow for entrepreneurship. So this is super helpful. Okay. So these are some of the examples and and then on our site, you'll see a lot more testimonials of people going through the programs for different programs. And whether it's a tech business, non-tech business, whether you was just thinking about it or you've launched, all of that. And then one of the great examples and testimonial is this couple, Mark and Lauren Anderson. And so they also went through Launchpad with an idea. Said, we want to start a school. And Mark was a teacher at my science school, Parklands College. And Lauren was a nurse. They're thinking about starting a school. They joined Pranary, and they're thinking about even just starting from thinking of doing pods online, and maybe we could do this, we could do that. They came with even like, now imagine going through even coming up with a name, like we're thinking of this name and this name, what name should work? And they give the reasons. Oh, okay, cool. And then they settle on Koa Academy. So they are the founders of Koa Academy. And then they wanted to launch. They were going to launch next year, but at Pranary said, this program is 3 months. You're launching next week. Like, how can you do that? And next week they launched, they built a site, and they started signing people up. Within a month, they had people on the wait list. And then when they finally, the end of the 3 months program, they pitched to investors. They raised $25,000. And then afterwards, like within a year, they raised another $200,000. And now Mark and Lauren have grown from 1 teacher to 25 teachers. This is just 18 months, by the way. 1 teacher to 25 teachers. They've moved from 5 students to 200 students. And Koa Academy is one of the fastest growing schools in Africa, online schools in Africa. And super, super proud that they came out of Launchpad. So imagine, like, what would it be worth for you? And on top of that, they're on track now to do $1 million in revenue. Think about it, $1 million in revenue. So a program that they paid for, it cost, like, at the time, it like cost them a few $1,000s. And now they are working on this business on their own, full-time, both of them. And they have gained their own bosses, they gained them freedoms and gained some time. And they are actually charting their own path and charting their own course, right? So that's what's possible, and that's what other people are talking about. So who will this work for? This will work for you if you're just starting out. Okay, you got an idea, like Mark and Lauren. Like, I don't know, I'm thinking this, thinking that. or if you've already launched, like Marie and Kelly. When Kelly came to us, Kelly also, by the way, raised $25,000. So already she had launched, but she's figuring out like people are not buying really. Like, what should I do? I built all of this platform and built this and built that. Yeah, a platform is called Aya.Africa. And she came to us to now learn how to get product market fit and how to get customers on board and then to raise money as well. Okay. And so this program will work for you. Okay. So some of you might be thinking, reasons why a lot of people might not get started with like, will Launchpad really work for me? And then start thinking of like, okay, maybe the money, maybe like, but I've got a job, but then how do I raise money? How do I get customers to buy? How do I figure it out? But I sometimes procrastinate. You can have a lot of reasons, right? A lot of reasons why you might not get started. Okay. But to give you an example, that for me, when the times that I've made the biggest progress was when actually I got into a program which doesn't leave me alone completely and just say, hey, go figure it out. Okay. How many of you have been on programs where you say, oh, buy this will change your life, and then you buy and then they give you, okay, we're giving you 200 hours of content and all these PDFs and that, and you never went back to that course and you never opened the stuff that you bought? Type 1 in the chat box if that has happened to you, that you have bought some programs that just never implemented them. Okay. And then now you get skeptical, like, but this is another new thing. Okay. So looking at that, you could see that what will make it not work, we're taking care of that. So the program works. And then we know that people fall off because they got work. So we've structured that the sessions are in the evening, like now. And then we've also structured it that we have doing it with other people, and the other people encourage you. And we structured it in such a way that we give you a lot of the templates already, meaning the amount of work you have to do is very, very little. We have already put in the work for you. Okay, so what you will get, okay, in addition to the program, you get startup coaching and mentorship valued at $2,400. So if you come to us now and you want coaching, you pay minimum $200 a month to get startup coaching and mentorship. So that's what our coaching clients would pay minimum. Okay. And then the executive coaching clients pay way more than that. So that's what you will get with this program, that you get startup coaching and mentoring. That is worth $2,400. And this is for not 1 month, not 2 months, or not 3 months. It's actually for 12 months. Where are you going to get that type of value? Okay. You also get pitch practice with sessions with feedback. This is valued at $997. Okay. So just pitching, getting feedback from other founders and the investors, who are actually looking for startups. So there's angel investors that write checks starting from $10,000 all the way to $200,000. And then you also get how to pitch investors course and checklist. And this one is valued at $150. These also came from a lot of work, like trial and error, learning what is a pitch deck that works and what are the things that investors want, and just talking lots of investors and putting all that together over years to compress it into a short course. So you don't have to go through all of that and read all the types of books that we've read and interviewing all those people that we've interviewed, and it will save you lots and lots of time. Then this is a big one. Then you also get digital marketing secrets and Google credits. So with digital marketing, I know every brother and the mother is a digital marketer, but how many of you have actually gone to a digital marketer and you paid them money and they promise you the world and then nothing happens and you get zero. All the money just goes to Google and Facebook, but nothing to you, okay? And they blame you, like, no, your budget was not good. Oh, no, you should increase this, you should do that. We figured that out. We went through that ourselves, where we're paying digital marketing companies. Was one company we were actually paying in rands, it was 30,000 rand, so it's about $2,000 a month, and still we're getting nothing. And we paid some for $1,000 and all of that, getting nothing until we learned these digital marketing secrets and working with a company like AdBot that will give you credits that will help you do that. So you will get that as well. Okay. Then this is also super cool for the tech founders. You get AWS credits, and AWS will help you to build. So whatever you're building, they'll give you all those different components, the different things that you need to build your app, your platform, your system. AWS will give you credits through us. And then when you build to a certain level, they'll give you even more credits. So, and then if you raise investment, they give you even more, but it's through Pranary that you get this. So this minimum is 8,600. And then on HubSpot. So HubSpot is a cool tool that helps you to manage your customers, right? So it helps you with your CRM, helps you with your sales, helps you with your marketing, helps you with your social media marketing. So social media management as well as advertising, all in one place. Really, really wonderful tool. And HubSpot is expensive, but they'll give you 90% off through our program. So imagine for the first year, you get all of these. And then you also get, because HubSpot knows, and we know, that's why we've negotiated these deals, that when you're starting out, you don't have a lot of money and you're trying to balance all the different things, as well as balancing the number of people and number of things you have to pay for. And so you get these, and to negotiate these deals again took a very long time, talking to different people and lots of emails and years, and finally getting the deal, like, yes. And then we've also negotiated, which is not here, you get credits from Zendesk, from Freshdesk as well, which helps you with customer service and it helps you with growing your list. Okay, great. So this is what it looks like. This is all the value that you're gonna get, okay? The value that you're gonna get. So we start with the Launchpad program itself, valued at $1,997. The startup coaching and mentorship for 12 months, valued at $2,400. Pitch practice sessions with feedback, valued at $997. Digital marketing secrets and Google credits, $900. AWS and HubSpot credits worth $8,600. What is the total of this? Mathematicians, there's a mathematician, the math teacher in here. The value of all of this is $14,894. And obviously, we're not going to charge you $14,894. But if we did, just think about it right now. If we did charge you $14,894 and you only could get one thing, which is finally launching a business that starts making money and the money is coming in, would it be worth it? Okay. Once you type in the chat box, would it be worth it? If it only did one thing, just like, finally my business makes money and this money is just coming, like, oh, I make $1,000 a month, 2,000 a month, this much, so much. And type in the chat box. Okay, I'd like to see answers. Is everybody still here? Cool. And then if, yes, this probation, you say yes. And then if we charge you $14,894 and all that it did was to finally free you from that horrible boss and finally to move you from, oh, it's Monday again, to, oh yeah, I love Monday. I can't even notice that. Oh, is it Friday already? Right? How much would that be worth? Would it be worth that amount of money? Okay. Now, if we compare this and then you compare it to other programs, like if you did an MBA, that's the amount of money you pay, and you just be in debt. And best is that, okay, you might get a high paying job, but it won't. Sometimes it actually doesn't. I've got lots of colleagues now, like, okay, my job didn't change, didn't get paid more money after that, after paying all of that. Then other people also like, okay, yeah. And then if you hired somebody to write a business plan for you, how much is a business plan? How much is business plan writing? It's minimum you'd pay for good people who are worth their salt. It's like $2,000 to write a business plan, but still, like, what happens after that, right? Okay, so this is the value that you would get. So once again, we are not charging you this, but if we did, would it be worth it? Now think about that. Finally, you pay this amount of money and it helps you to launch a business that is scalable, investable, and successful. And like Mark and Lauren, it goes to you manage to even raise money on top of it, and raising some more, and then you have revenue of over $1 million. Is it worth it? And getting those family holidays finally, and waking up when you're done sleeping, and having a car that actually starts in the morning. That was one of my dreams, right? Like in winter, my car wouldn't stop. It wouldn't start. Because one time my boss was pushing me in the rain because my car just stopped. Right. And so all of those are different dreams. So reconnect with your dream. I'd like to invite you to reconnect with your dream. Like, what is it that you really, really want? And how much is it worth to you? Okay. So now here is your investment. Okay. The value of that program is $14,994. But if you come to us right now and you would try to just get this program, it's worth $1,490. That's what the other people paid last year and the other year. But we've got good news for you. You won't pay this much now. Okay, you won't pay this much. Instead, we have got a special deal for you because you joined us now, and we're in a good place as well as a business, that we have managed to secure lots of resources for you, and we have created nice systems and templates that allow us to deliver lots of value to you, and then give that to you at $997. Okay, that is amazing, amazing value. Okay, so think about it that way again. Like, you look at the value that you're going to get. So you get the Launchpad program value is $1,997. Startup coaching and mentorship for 12 months. In itself, it's worth $2,400. So if you just come for startup coaching and mentoring, you pay that. That's what you pay, but it's included. And then you get pitch practice and feedback for $997, and digital marketing secrets and Google credits for $900. That, again, just that in itself will pay you way more than that. And AWS and HubSpot credits, those in themselves. So this, if I should say so myself, is a bargain, that you can get a program that would help you to launch your business without wasting time and money, proven methods to do it, a community that supports you, you get hand holding, and then you get all of that at that value. Okay. And so I'd like to take, you can start typing questions if there are questions in the chat box. But some of the things to think about that we cover in these programs, like some people will say, okay, you know what, I've got too many ideas, I don't know which idea to pick. We'll help you, to choose how to choose an idea. If you've got lots of ideas, I'm that type of person, lots of ideas. I had to spend lots of time, and I've tried so many things. I was selling t-shirts, I was making music, I was selling websites, I was selling, I was selling fish. I joined network marketing. I was doing t-shirts. I taught personal development, taught personal finance, teaching entrepreneurship. I've invested in stocks, I invested in crypto, like just different things. but like, which one should you focus on that will give you value? Because if you spread yourself too thin, you actually burn wealth. Okay. All right. So that's the other thing would help you. And then some people are like, okay, but I don't have this now, but I'm also worried, like, would this pay for itself? Like, definitely it would. But again, the program doesn't work. It works when you do, but we know where people fall off. So we put in structures that will be guiding you and holding you accountable. You join the course and we hold you, then we guide you where you're getting stuck. So right now you got two choices. You can either do nothing, right, with this information that you've got, like, oh, okay, oh, this was cool. I've learned the three things that the three top mistakes that businesses make. I've learned them. Cool, I'll avoid them. And also I've learned, like, okay, one of the things that I should consider when I'm building a company, and the rapid launching method. And then you do nothing and you go back to life getting the same results and going through the same things, having similar challenges. Or you could take a leap of faith right now and take action, where it's $9.97 and you're not taking a risk, because we have you covered. Okay, we've got a guarantee. We got a 30 days money back guarantee, no questions asked. So if you do take that leap now, you get that guarantee, money back guarantee. We will give you back your money. And we have no problems doing that, because we know that if you're not happy and if you can't do this for whatever reason, we're not happy either. And because if you can't get the results, then it also hurts our reputation. So we're happy to just refund you. Okay. And then no questions asked. And then if you want to come, but still you use the information that you've got. It's up to you. Use it for your the way you would want. Okay. So that is what we're offering you. Okay. On top of this, as if that's not enough, we got a few bonuses. And you get the pitch deck templates, then you get the pitch creating tools, and then we got a list of investors. And this is the value of all of these bonuses. And then we've got a new bonus for you because you stayed here, and this is only available for you who stayed on this and then on this call right now with me and my team, that you get this program for $795. And this is only available now. Okay, so that's what we've got for you. Remember all this value that you're going to get. Okay. All right. Great. So this is the early bird offer is $795. It's available till Saturday midnight. Okay. Great. Let's see. Let's look at the questions. Adam, this is an annual fee paid once off or structured a monthly fee? This is once off. Imagine that you own a 12-month program and you just pay once off. That's how cool this is, right? And then then Hollywood is asking, what's the duration of the offer? The duration is, this special offer is until Saturday. Okay. So just the show of hands, how many of you are feeling like, yeah, I think this is the program for me? And even if you got questions, just an indication, type 1 in the chat box. Even if you have questions still, but just being like, yeah, I think I could do this. So if we're to guide you and help you and guide you this process, how many are feeling like, yeah, I think this is the program? Okay. Jella says yes. Princess says yes. Dennis Mappe says yes. Cool. Great. Okay. Good. Great. And then so some of the other questions that let's see, look at the questions from my team. Okay, so you can ask your questions. I'm happy to take questions. And Oluwasei is saying yes. Cool. All right. Cool. Any other questions? Okay. There's a question about when the program takes place, so, and how much time it requires. So the program is launching. Okay. The program is launching early July. So just after next week, it's launching, and then it's structured that it happens in the evening to be on Wednesday evening for the tutorial, and then you have access to it digitally, and then you get access to you have access to it digitally, and then you have we have office hours and Q&A, and then we bring in different mentors. So some of the mentors that we bring in, various mentors that some of you have been in our programs have seen before, right? They come in to help you with specific challenges you might have or specific parts of your business. And these are people who built great companies before. More interested in investor pitching and fundraising. Dennis Mape is more interested in investor pitching and fundraising. Great. We've got a different program called the different program that we've got for pitching. It's for investor pitching and fundraising. It's called Ignition. So we've got the Ignition program, and if you go to our website, you can join the Ignition wait list. Great. Fantastic. So we've got, all right. So we've come to the end of our session today. In closing, just type what's been your key takeaway. Type your key takeaway in the chat box. I'd like to know what your key takeaway is in the chat box. Okay. And then I'll show you the page that actually you would go to complete this and take advantage of this offer. Hello, asking how long is the course and how much? The course is for 3 months. Okay, so the course is for 3 months, and the course is 3 months, and it's $795. So you can just convert that to Rand. Payment plan, yes, we do have a payment plan. We do have a payment plan. We share that. So I'd encourage all of you to just check your emails afterwards, because we will share we'll send you a few emails today and tomorrow. Okay. Cool. Dennis Mape, top 3 mistakes, key takeaway. Jelle, the idea of not moving slowly. H. Adam, wonderful insights about not moving slowly, as well as the insightful formula divided by Jeff Walker, aka the PLF, product launch formula. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jeff Walker is amazing. Barney Savanu, still knocked out with the insights on business plans. Point 2. Quincy, my key takeaway is to do away with old methods of doing business, move with times. Fantastic. Okay, is asking if we can share the link. Yes, there will be a replay. Okay, there will be a replay. Cool. All right. Awesome. Great. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been amazing. Thanks for, we've gone a few minutes over, 7 minutes over the time that we had together, but looking forward to hosting you in Launchpad, helping you to build out your dreams. We shared the link to the checkout page, help you to build out your dreams, but we want to see like next year we'll have you as an example, as one of the testimonials that we're getting, saying, yeah, this is what I did and it worked out for me and all of that. So it's fantastic. All right. Awesome. Great. Thank you very much, everybody. Cool. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, the team. Amazing team. Christy Cookimore in Pretoria, Dalumbo Shisholeka in Lusaka, Zambia, Joe Warman in London. Thank you very much. And Jade in Cape Town. Thank you very much, everybody. Awesome. All right. So we're looking forward to chatting further. Have a fantastic evening. And Fatima from Gambia, fantastic. All right, so it's been good seeing everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Let's see the people we had today. Thank you Bongani. Thank you Caraway Enterprises, Dennis Mape, Desire, Fatima. Thank you very much. Oliab, Joe, Ketty, Kauhelo, Leslie, Lusungu, Siame, thank you very much. Maudrin, thank you very much. Mateo, thank you very much. Milkamsera, thank you very much. Muchia, Dalumbu, thank you. Oluwasei, thank you very much. Pascal, Paulus, thank you very much. Princey Tapiwa, Taps, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Good to have you here, Taps. Good to have you, everybody here. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic rest of the evening and see you on the program. Katie and Chosia, yes, awesome. Looking forward. Cheers. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.